The biggest threat to peace between India and Pakistan is not a disputed border or a nuclear stockpile. Most people think about the rivalry between India and Pakistan. They think about borders, they think about Kashmir, military tensions, and nuclear weapons. But behind all those headlines lies a different issue that could shape the future of both countries: water. Because Pakistan depends on one river more than almost any major nation depends on a single natural resource. The Indus. And without it, modern Pakistan would look completely different. Pakistan is not a naturally fertile country. Much of its land is dry, mountainous, or desert. Yet, if you look at a satellite image, you will notice something remarkable. A bright green corridor stretches from the north all the way to the Arabian Sea. That corridor follows the Indus River. It is where most of Pakistan's people live, where its largest farms operate, and where much of its economy is concentrated. Quite literally, the river creates life in an otherwise challenging landscape. The importance of the Indus is nothing new. More than 4,000 years ago, one of humanity's earliest urban societies emerged along its banks. The Indus Valley civilization built advanced cities, trade networks, and irrigation systems long before many parts of the world. Even today, the river remains Pakistan's greatest natural advantage. The Indus irrigates the overwhelming majority of Pakistan's farmland. It supports crops like wheat, rice, cotton, and sugarcane. It provides drinking water to millions. It helps generate electricity, and it sustains industries across the country. For Pakistan, this is not just a river. It is a backbone of the entire economy. But there is one problem. Pakistan does not fully control the source of its own lifeline. The Indus begins outside its borders, and many major tributaries flow through India before entering Pakistan. The geographic reality has made water a strategic issue ever since the partition of British India in 1947. To prevent conflict, the two countries signed the Indus Waters Treaty in 1960 with support from the World Bank. The agreement divided the river system and established rules for sharing water. Remarkably, for over 6 decades, it survived the unthinkable. It held together through 3 full-scale wars in 1965, 1971, and the 1999 Kargil conflict, earning a reputation as one of the most resilient water agreements in the world history. But today, that fragile peace is fracturing. As political hostilities deepen, water is no longer just a shared resource. It is being viewed as a geopolitical weapon. The tipping point came when India dramatically shifted its position, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi famously declaring that blood and water cannot flow together. Following terror attacks in Kashmir, India even moved to suspend the treaty entirely, briefly restricting downstream flows and pushing the two nuclear-armed nations toward a devastating new kind of conflict. Today, on top of this diplomatic crisis, new and unprecedented challenges are emerging. Population growth is increasing demand for water. Climate change is affecting glaciers and rainfall patterns. New infrastructure projects upstream continue to raise concerns about future water availability. For a country so dependent on one river system, even relatively small changes can have significant consequences. And that is what makes the Indus so fascinating. It isn't simply a geographical feature. It is the reason millions of people can farm, work, and build cities in a landscape that would otherwise support far less life. When we look at maps, we often pay attention to political borders. But history is often shaped by something much simpler, a river. Because Pakistan is not just a country through which the Indus flows. In many ways, it is a nation whose past, present, and future continue to flow with it.